It is 4:30. This is WKYT this morning. 3 police officers are dead, 3 others injured after a gunman opened fire in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We'll have the latest details on that just ahead.
Law enforcement across the country mourning the loss of the Baton Rouge officers. What local agencies are saying about this coming up.
And several auto shops came together yesterday for a good cause. More on how they helped out a local family. That and more on WKYT this morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Welcome in. It's your Monday. We hope you had a great weekend. I'm Bill Bryant.
I'm Rebecca Smith. Let's check out what's happening in the weather department right now on this Monday morning.
Yeah, it looks pretty good outside, actually, with clear skies. But I will tell you this, clouds will be on the increase the next couple of hours. And that's due to one thing. Look just to the north of us. And here comes some storms headed our direction. It's going to take a while to actually get here. I'd say anywhere from 8 to about 10 a.m. is when we'll start to see those roll into the region. Temperatures there in the 70s. It is muggy outside, and we'll hold on to that all week long. That is guaranteed. Few storms today. Not everybody will see those, but I'm going to talk about where you can have the best chance coming up in just a few minutes.
Okay, we'll see you then. Tragic news, of course, out of Louisiana that we're continuing to follow up on.
3 police officers are dead, 3 others are injured after an attack in Baton Rouge. Yesterday's shooting comes just days after a shooting that killed 5 police officers in Dallas, Texas. Of course, it comes almost 2 weeks after the death of Elton Sterling at the hands of Baton Rouge police. CBS's Don Champion is in Louisiana with the latest.
Investigators say Gavin Long, a decorated ex-Marine, acted alone when he exchanged gunfire with police officers at a gas station in Baton Rouge Sunday. The officers were responding to reports of a suspicious person dressed in all black with a gun. An eyewitness live streamed the rampage on social media.
Nice little sniper rifle. He is military.
CBS News has learned that Long rented a white Chevy vehicle last week and drove to Baton Rouge. The 5-year veteran also posted on social media under the pseudonym Cosmo Setapinra.
You gotta fight back. That's the only way a bully knows to quit.
In one of his final acts, Long tweeted, quote, "Just because you shed your physical body doesn't mean that you're dead." Investigators had a more than 1-mile-long area shut down while they went over the crime scene for evidence. 3 officers were killed, including Montrell Jackson, who had been with the Baton Rouge Police Department for 10 years.
We'll get through this as a family. We'll get through this as a community.
Officers eventually killed the gunman. Baton Rouge has been a city on edge since the police shooting of Elton Sterling nearly 2 weeks ago. Local leaders are calling for calm again.
We need to sit down at the table and have realistic conversation about race relations in this city.
Kansas City police shut down a road outside of Long's home as investigators searched for a motive behind his attack. Don Champion, CBS News, Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Law enforcement agencies across the country are offering their condolences to the officers and sheriff's deputies in Baton Rouge.
Many are posting messages of support on social media. Franklin County's Sheriff Pat Melton talked to WKYT's Caitlin Sentner about the rising risks that law enforcement faces, and she continues our team coverage.
My men and women have children that they go home to every day. And that's #1 rule in law enforcement is you go home at the end of your shift. It's tough, you know, you never know when you say goodbye that might be the last time.
It was the Dallas police shooting rocking communities across the nation, and now just 10 days later, 3 officers in Baton Rouge are dead.
Our country right now is in a very, very ugly spot, and I never thought I'd see the day that it would come to it, that police officers and sheriff's deputies are being targeted.
Franklin County Sheriff Pat Melton says the statistics are staggering. According to the Officer Down Memorial page, line of duty gunfire deaths this year are up by 94%, something he says is unwarranted.
But, you know, at the end of the day, I don't think any police officer wants to take a life. That's not what they're there for. That's not what they're in it for.
Sheriff Melton says he likes to see his officers out and being involved in the community. He says it's just who they are.
Just last week, an officer was caught on camera buying a group of kids ice cream.
My guys care. This is where they live. This is where they work, and we're all raising our families here, and it's important.
He says Franklin County isn't seeing the issues other parts of the country are, and he says he's proud of that.
I don't think that what we're seeing really is what America's about. It's not who we are, and we've got to stop. We've got to come together as a country. Trust me, there's enough people out there that want to hurt our country without us doing it internally to ourselves.
In Franklin County, Caitlin Setner, WKYT.
And the sheriff has asked his deputies to keep an eye out for one another. He also says there has been an outpouring of support from the community. Other departments across Kentucky are also mourning the loss of the 3 officers in Louisiana. Nicholasville Police tweeted this photo yesterday showing just how fast the community is coming to their side. In one show of support, someone dropped off a plate of cookies. State leaders are weighing in on the shooting in Baton Rouge. Senate Majority Leader and Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell released a statement late yesterday afternoon saying, quote, "This unjustifiable attack is not just an attack on law enforcement, it is an attack on the very principles that bind us as a nation." And Governor Matt Bevin tweeted, "Let us all stand united in condemning the evil that is being unleashed on those who are protecting us." You can read their full statements on WKYT.com.
Well, state police are investigating a deadly ATV crash in southeastern Kentucky. Late Saturday night, troopers say 4 people were riding an ATV in the Cary community in Knott County. They say the ATV crashed, 2 people flew off, and that the ATV landed on top of them. The Knott County coroner says 54-year-old Anthony Singleton and 54-year-old Billy Breeding died. Breeding worked at the Fisty Volunteer Fire Department. Another person went to a nearby hospital. The 4th was not injured. Several auto shops worked together yesterday to raise money for the family of one shop's worker. Jeremy Hampton died back in June in a crash on US 27. WKYT's Sabir Rayford talked to Hampton's family about his employer's support.
Workers at Lucky's Auto Sports are used to seeing all kinds of different cars and motorcycles in their lot. But what was different about today is that some of those parking spaces were filled by people from other shops.
Really today we just wanted to honor him.
Several different auto shops from all over the area came together today to raise money for Jeremy Hampton's family. He worked at Lucky's and his co-workers describe him as a star employee.
He was just a really great guy all around at his house and all around at the shop.
The 30-year-old lost his life a little over a month ago in a crash on Nicholasville Road.
What we really want to do today is honor him in the best way possible. And one of the really neat things about the car community and the motorcycle community is when something happens within our communities, we all bond together.
Some got on their bikes, others got in their car, and they rode together to the park to celebrate Jeremy's life. Organizers made sure the music was up loud and that there was plenty of food on the grill.
We think he'd like it. Looked like a shirt he would wear.
Yeah, it does.
As part of the fundraising efforts, the group sold T-shirts with his name on it.
We just felt like this was something that he would enjoy doing and enjoy being done to remember him.
We have just been overwhelmed at the outpouring of grief and support that we've gotten.
Jeremy's stepmother says losing him has been tough, but seeing the joy his memory brings has been comforting to their family.
Every day we try to talk about Jeremy and all the good things that he did in life, and we know that where he's at is a good place.
In Lexington, Sabir Rayford, WKYT.
Eldridge says as long as there's a need for it, they'll continue to raise money for Hampton's family.
Investigators in Georgia are still trying to figure out what caused a boat to flip, killing 4 Kentuckians. Divers on Lake Lanier found the bodies of 44-year-old Anthony Reese Jr. and 46-year-old Arthur McMahon yesterday morning. They found the bodies of their wives, Tammy Reese and Melissa McMahon, on Saturday. The 2 couples were at the lake for a charity poker run when the accident happened. The Reeses were from Adair County. Their funeral arrangements are still pending this morning. The McMahons were from Bullitt County. Their children have released a statement saying, quote, "Our parents meant the world to us. We never realized how much impact they had on people's lives." The statement goes on to say, "They were one of a kind and will truly be missed. Thank you for your continued prayers." Well, deputies will soon be escorting a man charged in connection with a murder this weekend back to Taylor County. Campbellsville police say Rocky Ashby shot and killed a woman early Saturday morning, then stole a pickup truck. They arrested Ashby Saturday night in Shelby County. We talked to deputies at the jail there. They say they are waiting for the county investigators there to pick Ashby up. Campbellsville police found the stolen truck yesterday. They also recovered a lawnmower and tools that were inside the truck.
It can can be a parent's biggest fear, a child gone missing. Investigators say fingerprints are an important factor in finding a missing person. This week, police in London are working with the Laurel County Public Library to fingerprint children for free as part of the Safe ID Kids program. Each parent gets a card with their children's fingerprint, age, eye color, hair color, home address, and picture.
So in the event that a child does go missing, they have that immediately available to hand to the police department to say, my child's missing, this has all of their information on it, these are their fingerprints.
The event is Thursday at the Laurel County Public Library in the children's section. It's free and open to the public.
It's good to have you with us. 4:40 is the time on WKYT this morning. We're just getting started with all the latest news on your Monday.
Gyms just for kids are a popular new trend. Mom's Everyday Visits one coming up after the break.
We have the storms to the north of us, not so much in our viewing area now, but they are going to be increasing as we head throughout the next couple of days. We're going to get into that. I'll show you the timing coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
It's pretty calm and quiet early this morning. There's really not much going on as you walk out the door. It's a little warm as you step outside, a little muggy. We're looking northbound, and there's a reason for that. These storms are going to be flying southbound here in the next few hours. I would expect it in far northern Kentucky. Anywhere around 7 a.m. to about 8 a.m. That's your best bet as of right now. Then we get a little bit further down toward the south. I'd say 64 corridor, anywhere from 9 a.m. to about 11 a.m. And then it just kind of withers away the farther it gets southbound. So this is something to watch out for. You'll get some strong storms out of this. And there is the potential as we go through the day, there's a marginal risk of severe weather, and that means that that's the slightest risk of severe weather that we can have from the Storm Prediction Center. A better opportunity, obviously, to the north of us, so most of us dealing with at least that chance of some strong to severe storms. And remember, the 64 corridor northbound, that's your best bet. The farther it goes down toward the south, better likelihood of it just kind of falling apart. That doesn't mean those storms won't be strong. It just means it's a better likelihood of it just kind of fading away. So by 8 a.m., about 90% of us are dry. The other 10% get off into northern Kentucky, and you could have a couple of rumbles of thunder at that time. It's really after that we start to see those storms move across the region. 84 degrees there by noontime. By noontime, it's already made it to the I-64 corridor, and you'll get some brief heavy downpours out of that. By the afternoon, still another batch going to be rolling on through. This is hit and miss. Not everybody will see rain today. There's a pretty decent shot at it, though, as we travel off through your afternoon hours. By the evening, I still expect at least a rumble of thunder, but no widespread storms in the forecast. It looks to fade away evening and nighttime hours. So that's the breakdown. That's the hour-by-hour forecast. Let's get off into your 7-day forecast. So pretty good chance of rain today. Tomorrow still looks like a pretty decent shot at about 40%. It's still hit and miss, but look, the temperatures are going nowhere anytime soon. You can see the next several days in the upper 80s to lower 90s and even some mid-90s, guys. By Friday off into your weekend, that is going to be some scorching hot weather because the moisture's not going anywhere anytime soon either. So just keep in mind, here comes some heat, here comes some humidity that we haven't felt in a long time.
Good old summertime, I
That's
guess,
right.
huh? All right, Micah, thank you. 4:46 right now. And these days, kids have another place to burn some energy.
Check out these gyms built just for children in today's Mom's Everyday Minute.
Fitness centers just for kids are popping up all over the country, helping families put an emphasis on fitness from the start. Take a look.
I work at a gym. It's called My Gym Children's Fitness Center. Here we do different classes and activities for children. We work on parent participation classes for children that are 3 and under, and if they are older than 3, they're an independent class. During a class, we work on, relays, games, a little bit of gymnastics, sports skills, a little bit of everything in an hour. It is important to have a place like this for children because they are having fun. We're getting them up and moving for an hour without them realizing that they are exercising. We work on hanging, we're running lines, we're making it fun for kids so they're not just sitting and watching a screen for hours. The number one thing parents can do for their kids is to encourage them to try new things. Also, make them realize it's not something that they have to do every day. Make it a habit. Do it every day. Make it fun. And if parents are doing it, then the kids will follow in their footsteps.
No kid gym near you? Head to momseveryday.com for ways to work out without all of the fancy equipment.
For these tips and more, go to WKYT.com. Click on Moms Every Day.
All right, that's an option for some and the kids in the summertime. Hey, it's good to have you with us. WKYT This Morning is on the air with the latest on your Monday. 4:47 is our time right now.
The Republican National Convention begins today in Cleveland. Security there is tight. More on that when we come back on WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Welcome back into WKYT This Morning. 4:50 now, 10 till 5.
Well, the Republican National Convention kicks off today in Cleveland.
And security is tight. There are thousands of police officers working on the event. And CBS's Craig Boswell has the Campaign 2016 update from Cleveland.
Police officers looked on as anti-Trump protesters demonstrated peacefully in Cleveland.
Donald Trump has to go. The Republican Party as a whole has to go.
Cleveland is prepared for all kinds of demonstrations around the Republican convention. They've ramped up security on land and on the water. Cars entering the vicinity of the Quicken Loans Arena are being checked, and officers ranging from local police to the Secret Service are out in force.
We planned for anything and everything that could happen.
500 Cleveland police officers will patrol the convention this week. Delegates and their guests will pass through layers of security on their way in.
Donald Trump and his running mate, Indiana Governor Mike Pence, gave their first joint interview to 60 Minutes.
I have seen more people that, frankly, did not like me so much, and now they're saying, what a great pick. You see the kind of reaction. He has helped bring the party together.
Governor Pence said he's humbled to be on the ticket and acknowledged stylistic differences with his potential boss.
It's probably obvious to people that our styles are different, but I promise you our vision is exactly the same.
The pair will try to sell that vision to delegates on the convention floor and to the American people. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Cleveland.
The head of Cleveland's police union asked the governor of Ohio to temporarily suspend the Buckeye State's open carry law. A spokesperson for the governor said he does not have the authority to do so. A couple of Kentucky lawmakers will also be in Cleveland for the convention this week. Of course, there'll be many from Kentucky, the entire delegation, but a couple will be speaking, both U.S. Senator Mitch McConnell and State Senator Ralph Alvarado. They will be speaking McConnell on Tuesday and then Alvarado on Wednesday. The theme is Make America Work Again. And today, Donald Trump's opponent, Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton, will be speaking at the NAACP's National Convention in Cincinnati.
An American student is confirmed among the dead in last week's attack in Nice, France. The University of California, Berkeley said in a statement investigators identified the body of Nicholas Leslie. The 20-year-old was from Del Mar in the San Diego area. The school says 3 other UC Berkeley students were injured in the attack. All suffered broken bones. Friends of a state trooper killed last year are planning a race in his memory. Trooper Eric Chrisman was on his way out to Iraq when he died in a crash. Chrisman was from Anderson County, and friends there have found a way to keep his generous spirit alive. They will be holding a 5K memorial race this September. The money raised from the race will go to Trooper Island and to a scholarship fund set up in Chrisman's name at his old high school.
Eric was a graduate of Western Kentucky, and he was very proud of that, and that college degree meant a lot to him, and so this will help somebody here at Cal reach that same goal.
Registration for the race is open. If you sign up before August 5th, the cost is $30 for adults and just $20 for police officers and kids 13 and younger.
Hope you'll keep it here on WKYT This Morning. We'll be back in just a moment with a lot more news. We'll update the weather.
Yeah, and we'll also have another look at your morning forecast.
Good morning. Welcome back into WKYT This Morning. It is 4:57, and all of our top stories are on the way in just a moment, but we want to update you on weather.
Yeah, let's go to Micah.
Yeah, and we're seeing the showers and thunderstorms outside early this morning up toward the far north, and it's heading our direction. Now, there's nothing out there right now, but as we continue to watch closely, we'll see these storms roll on through here during the morning hours and toward the afternoon. We have another batch that's going to be rolling on through. 73 degrees there in Lexington, and that goes for Richmond, 68 now, and Somerset. So we go through your day, and we'll actually reach roughly 90 degrees. Depending on the storms will be with us. We'll get into that forecast coming up.